Right. So for each of the experiments described below, identify the problems and explain how the problems could have been avoided. Okay, I've skipped past a ton of notes, so I'm gonna explain this on the fly. A chiropractor performs adjustments on 25 patients with back pain. Afterward, 18 patients say they feel better. The chiropractor concludes the adjustments are an effective treatment. So the problem here is whenever we're trying to do an experiment, okay? In an experiment, you want to have your treatment group like this, and you want to have a control group, a group to compare these results to. And so notice in this case, we do not have a control group. We don't have a control group, a group to compare this effectiveness to. So in this case, that would be my biggest complaint. The problems. This experiment does not have a control group. Okay. And now here's some potential issues that could arise. Okay. The thing that, you know, on this, and one thing is the placebo effect. Okay. One issue is, or we could say we have no group to compare the effectiveness of this treatment with. And what this sets up for is it sets up for what we call the placebo effect. So the placebo effect, and what a placebo is like kind of a fake treatment. It's a treatment to where you get all the, you know, the you get what you think you like. Let's say you took you have a headache and you took a pill that looked like a Tylenol, but it had no treatment in it. All it did was look like it in the form. And then you take it and you say, "Oh, I'm feeling better." And so what's happening is that's called the placebo effect. You're feeling better because mentally you're thinking, I took a Tylenol, I'm feeling better. You think it's more of a mental thing from taking the treatment versus the treatment itself. And so the placebo effect could be here. You could have the placebo effect here as well, to where you improve because they believe, like, you think you're getting a good treatment. And so mentally your mind's thinking, okay, I'm good because I'm getting this treatment, where in reality, it's not really necessarily effective. So that's something that could run into. So there's a lot of issues that can arise whenever you have an experiment that's flawed in some direction. Let's look at B. A new drug for the type of attention disorders supposedly make children less disruptive. Randomly selected children suffering from the disorder are divided into treatment and control groups. So we have a control group here. Those in the control group receive a placebo that looks like the real drug. The experiment is single blind. Experimenters interview the children individually to decide whether they become more polite. Okay, so on this problem here, it's single blind because whoever's receiving the pill doesn't know which one they got. Do they get the real one or they get the fake one? But the experimenters know. In this case, we don't know. It's not double blind because the experimenters know who got what treatment. So the experimenters know which drug the patients received. Now, here's the thing. If you're an experimenter, let's say you invested money in this and you've got a vested interest in this pill and you know that this person got the pill, like you're going to probably change the way you either ask questions or interpret answers or interpret their behavior. And so in this case, um, the experimenters might have bias in questioning slash interpreting, which may lead to an incorrect solution. So this is something that, like, basically a solution that's not valid. Okay. And so, and basically at that point, so what we could do to fix it, we need the experimenters to not know who got which drug. And what you do is you get like a third party involved. So you get a third party and that will keep track of this. And the experimenters, they're just going to interview the student or the child, and they're not going to know which one they have. There'll be somebody behind the scenes that does know, but they're not going to say anything to the experimenter until after they've evaluated the results and seeing how effective it was.